Back in 2019, both Walt Disney World and Disneyland proudly opened up the highly themed, highly immersive Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. A part of Disney's response to Universal's Wizarding World of Harry Potter, which had opened up several years earlier, Disney was banking on this new land based on one of the world's most popular media franchises to really set the theme park world ablaze. Now, unfortunately for Disney, it didn't quite do that, as neither Disneyland nor Hollywood Studios saw a significant boost in attendance post the opening of Galaxy's Edge. However, it is a little bit difficult to judge that, as the following year, of course, the parks were basically shut down due to COVID, so hard to really say what the attendance impact of Galaxy's Edge was or would have been had the parks not closed down in 2020. Regardless, it's hard to deny that these two lands both opened up with some significant cons, significant flaws, significant drawbacks that might have hurt the land's performance, albeit the land also had quite a few pros, like Rise of the Resistance. And, it's right on the tip of my tongue, I swear, and so many more, I can't possibly name them all. One thing, however, that almost certainly underperformed Disney's expectations for it was blue and green milk, the signature premium beverage of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Clearly inspired by the success of Butterbeer, Universal's own successful signature drink for the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Disney believed that using Star Wars as the backing property would almost certainly make replicating that success a cinch. And despite a decent amount of initial hype and buzz surrounding the drink, less than 5 years later, you will rarely see anybody lining up to order blue or green milk. So today, we answer the question, what went wrong? Well, as I mentioned earlier, Disney clearly copied Universal's homework. They saw the success of Butterbeer and said, why don't we just take one of our popular media franchises, find a beverage in the source material, adapt it into real life, and start selling it in the parks, and then surely we'll have just as much success as Universal had with Butterbeer. And when you put it that way, and you look at it from a bird's eye view, it does sound like Disney hit on every note, and they pretty much copied Universal and Butterbeer bar for bar. So did Universal just get lucky with this concept and Disney got unlucky? Not quite. You see, there was a lot more that went into making Butterbeer successful other than it just being from a popular media franchise and appearing in the books and films. So in order to understand why Blue Milk failed, I think it is best for us to look at why Butterbeer succeeded and to see where Blue Milk went wrong and did not follow the formula that Butterbeer had laid out before it. So grab your pencils, kids, because we're going to run through the 5 ingredients that made Butterbeer a smash hit. Number 1, curiosity. It's not enough to just appear in the source material to make the audience want to try that particular food or beverage. It actually has to look and sound good. Now, Butterbeer doesn't appear very often in the source material. In fact, it appears very little in the movies in particular. However, when it does show up, it always has a very positive connotation. The people drinking it, the characters in the film, really enjoy it. I mean, Hermione literally downs the drink in one of the most prominent scenes where it appears in. Clearly, Butterbeer is popular and well-liked in the universe it comes from, so us as viewers would obviously want to try the drink were to exist in real life. However, when it comes to Star Wars, it could be argued that blue and green milk actually show up more in the source material than Butterbeer does. Again, debatable. Regardless, when blue milk does show up, most of the time, unlike Butterbeer, it's treated with quite a bit of indifference. You usually don't see much in the way of positive reactions. In fact, most people drink it like it's just a normal drink, which in the universe makes sense. The only time we ever see a strong reaction to one of these drinks is when Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi drinks green milk. And not only does he have a hard time putting it down, but Rey, our main character, literally looks on him with complete and utter disgust. How does that look appetizing at all? So not only in the source material is blue and green milk never shown in a positive light, it's even shown in a negative light at times. And you wonder why even some Star Wars fans have not gone out of their way to try this drink. Now that being said, I'm not going to completely fail blue milk in this category because, well, it does show up at least decently in the source material, and because it does have that negative connotation, there might be some people who might want to morbidly try just to see how bad it is. So there is some curiosity there, but maybe not the curiosity you're ideally looking for. That then brings me to the next point. Does it sound refreshing? Does it look refreshing? And is it actually refreshing? You gotta remember, where are these parks located? Southern California and Central Florida. It can get hot. It can get humid. You're on your feet all day. You're sweating bullets. Ideally, you want something that's going to cool you off and hydrate you, especially if you're going to be paying a premium price tag. Now, I will say, Butterbeer in and of itself doesn't really sound very refreshing. I mean, it kind of sounds like it has a bit of a heavy connotation with it, which is not necessarily something you're looking for when you're trying to cool off or feel refreshed. However, the actual product itself, in its two main forms, is a soda and a slushy type of frozen drink. Knowing this, not only do they sound and look refreshing, but they actually are refreshing. Now, you might say, well, wait a minute, doesn't soda dehydrate you? And I'm glad you brought it up, because I get to tell you the science fact of the day. Today, you might have heard the old wives' tale that soda dehydrates you, and though many sodas do, the reason why is because it's not soda that dehydrates you, it's the caffeine in soda that dehydrates you. And guess what? Butterbeer has no caffeine, so it doesn't dehydrate you. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Anyways, on the flip side, you have blue and green milk. Milk! Now, listen, I know some psychopaths who drink milk with every meal. Those people are crazy. But I think for the vast majority of people, when they think of milk, they think of something that's a bit more decadent. It's a bit heavier. Something that's going to coat your mouth a bit. It's something that's going to stick with you. It's not necessarily going to cool you off that much, even if it is cold. And it most certainly is not a drink you think of when you're looking to keep hydrated. And when it comes to blue milk, they're not lying with the name like Butterbeer. It is actually milk. It's rice milk. So not only does it sound like it's not refreshing, it doesn't really look like it's refreshing either. But you know what? It could probably overcome all of this if the drink itself is actually refreshing. And let me tell you, from experience, this thing is not refreshing at all. It might be the exact opposite of refreshing. You know how I mentioned how milk kind of coats your mouth? This thing takes it to a whole nother level. It's like chalk on a chalkboard. It's insane. If you don't drink a water right after this, it's going to be stuck in your mouth for hours and just simply contribute to making your mouth drier and drier and drier. So, yeah, sure, maybe when you get it, it's cold, but in the Florida heat, it tends to heat up pretty quickly. And then beyond that, it's actually actively dehydrating you because you have this stuff getting stuck in your mouth. So yeah, fail! But it's okay, blue milk. You still have 3 more ingredients left that if you pass these, maybe we can make the argument that you just got unlucky. And luckily for you here, coming up is arguably the most important ingredient. Does it actually taste good? You might have been saying, where has this one been? This should have been number 1. Does the drink actually taste good? I mean, we're talking about a product that costs more than your average drink and really relies on repeat sales, right? Being something that people are going to have every single time they visit and aren't just going to try once out of curiosity and be like, all right, that's it. I have no interest in trying again. It has to taste good. It looking refreshing, it being interesting in the source material, those are important to get them to try it in the first place. But in order for them to actually come back and have it time and time again, like Butterbeer has clearly proven to be able to do, it needs to taste good. And as I indicated with Butterbeer, obviously, it's been around for over a decade. It's still super popular to this day. It still has lines out the door despite multiple locations that sell it. Obviously, it tastes good. We don't need to beat around the bush with this one. Blue milk, on the other hand, you know what? I'm just going to let the people speak for themselves.
I don't like it.
Cool park, by the way. I like the inclusion of it. It's very,
This is weird. I don't know what this is, but this is bad. Right? It's bad. We don't like this.
And I gotta tell you, it's not good.
Okay, oh, whoa.
It tastes disgusting.
Ew.
I don't think I love the green one.
I mean, right in front, I'm like, I don't like it. But it didn't get better.
Right, no, exactly.
It didn't get better. It got worse.
They're both gross. It tastes like berry flavored Pepto-Bismol.
It reminds me of detergent.
I'm drinking dirt.
That's worse than the blue. That sucks.
I don't like this one at all. Did it give you brain freeze or what? No. What's the problem?
It tastes like I'm eating a leaf.
It tastes like somebody licked a carpet cleaner or something. I don't know. This sucks.
What kind of horrible medicine he was.
So, blue milk, do not get it.
These aren't the new Butterbeer. I don't know what Disney was thinking.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was close. I think it was really close, but I think I have to give Blue Milk the X on this one. It was really close. It was a hard decision, but it is what it is. But you know what, Blue Milk? Don't give up hope yet, because this next point might be able to save you. You see, point number 4 is, does it taste unique? You see, when we talk about a premium drink, something that costs more than your average bear, it's important that it actually tastes different. It doesn't taste like something I could just get from the dollar store, get from my local grocery store, right? This has to be something that I can only experience, only get at this park, in this land, at this specific drink stand. Now, clearly, Butterbeer has pulled this off. I mean, you can look it up online. There are 1,000 recipes that say, oh, well, this is how you make Butterbeer at home. I haven't seen a single one that even comes remotely close to replicating Butterbeer as it exists in the parks, one for one. It's just not possible. It's not feasible. Nobody's been able to pull it off. 10 plus years later, it's clearly earned its stay as a unique drink exclusive to the Universal parks. And you know what? Blue and green milk passed the test here as well. I've never tasted anything like that before. It's rice milk with like a fruity flavor to it. I mean, you cannot get this anywhere else. Could you replicate it? Maybe. Why would you want to do that? Are you crazy? But as it exists today, it is unique, right? It stands alone. This is not something you're going to find at your local grocery store. This is definitely a unique taste, a unique drink. And for that, it gets a check. Now, this last point is probably a point that Universal themselves weren't even thinking about when they were creating Butterbeer. This is just kind of something that came with the success. And that means that, unfortunately for Blue Milk, a bad day is about to get worse, as the final ingredient is, can you spin this off into other products? I mean, think about Butterbeer, right? Of course, you have the original cold Butterbeer, the frozen Butterbeer, then you also have hot Butterbeer, you have Butterbeer ice cream, Butterbeer fudge, and of course, Butterbeer merchandise. It's been so phenomenally popular that Universal has been able to make many other revenue streams out of simply one product. That's a special, once-in-a-lifetime, lightning in a bottle product that Universal was able to put together right there. And of course, it goes without saying, since Blue Milk is not popular, it was never able to garner any spin-offs, nor would anybody want those, so, X. So even though Disney went out with the goal of creating their own Butterbeer under the Star Wars banner, they clearly did not do their due diligence in understanding why Butterbeer worked, or if they did understand it, they certainly ignored it, as Blue Milk came up short in a number of categories. But like I mentioned earlier, Butterbeer was kind of a lightning in a bottle case. That's a hard situation to replicate, right? When Universal was making Butterbeer, they weren't expecting it to be the smash hit phenomenon that it ended up becoming. So maybe it wasn't really the best idea to copy that particular concept. However, Disney has had success in the past with copying other parks' ideas. I mean, of course, Animal Kingdom pretty much one for one copied Busch Gardens and SeaWorld and said, let's improve on that. Disney MGM Studios, right? That stole Universal's idea that they had before they even started building the park. But I think the key here is that either one, you get out to market before your competitor like they did with Disney MGM Studios, or you actually improve on the idea like they did with Animal Kingdom versus Busch Gardens Tampa and SeaWorld Orlando. So if you're going to copy somebody else's idea, you better succeed in doing one of those two things, or else you're going to look like an unoriginal embarrassment. And that's exactly what Blue Milk comes off to the average guest who visits both parks. They say, oh, Blue Milk is literally their butterbeer, and it comes up short in every aspect. So let me leave you with this. Disney, you're the market leader. Act like it. Set trends. Don't follow them. Don't copy what your competitors are doing. You want to be the one that they're copying from. You should be that guy. You are not that guy. You're basically admitting to everyone right now, oh, Universal's that guy. We copied them for the immersive land idea that they did with Wizarding World of Harry Potter. We copied them for Butterbeer with Blue Milk. Come on, man. Get original. Get some new ideas. You are the top of the food chain. Don't go ahead and tell everyone directly, actually, we kind of think these guys are doing it better. That's why we're copying them. No, you should not be copying anyone. Come up with your own ideas and stay number one. Otherwise, if you really think Universal's that good, why don't you just get out of the way and let them take the top spot? All right, great, thanks. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you agree with what I had to say here about Blue Milk versus Butterbeer? I love to hear what I have to say. And anyways, I'll see you all next time. Peace.